back show, everyone. It is week 4. Amber Theoharis along with former Raider James Jones. And so the Raiders are 0-3. They take on the Broncos, who right now lead the AFC West at home at Allegiant Stadium, looking for that first win. And James, I don't like to bring up the past, but you have been a part of an 0-3 team in the past. What is it like this week leading up to this fourth game, trying to get that first win around the facility?
Yeah, I don't like to remember those days, but I have been a part of that. And it's not a good feeling because you know that this is a must win. And this is really desperation time. As much as you don't want to say it to the media, as much as the coaches don't want to say it, you know. 0-4, we all know what that means. That doesn't mean playoffs. That doesn't mean a chance to win a Super Bowl. So as players, you know that. So you know you want to come out here and play your best game because you don't want to come out after this game looking at 0-4 and then coming back that next week, and then your thought process that next week is totally different.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that, right? Let's take a look at what the Broncos have done so far this season. The Broncos are 2-1. You remember they came out and they lost to Russell Wilson's old team, the Seahawks, in week 1. But then they come back, they beat the Texans, and they beat the 49ers. And one of the reasons for that is that Russell Wilson came alive in that final drive in the last part of the game. But Russell Wilson and that offense in Denver has struggled. And we didn't really expect to see that because it seemed like last year this Broncos team maybe was one quarterback away from being really effective. But it's not that easy, is it, to have that connection with your receivers when you come in to a new offense, when you've spent so much time at another team.
No doubt about it. And that's the hardest thing about it. You're trying to get on the same page with these receivers. Your coach, your new head coach, is trying to figure out what you like to do that's most comfortable for you to get you going. And right now, Russell Wilson is not comfortable in this offense. Russell Wilson is not on the same page with his receivers. And it's showing. You look at those numbers, they scored 16 points in a loss. Then they scored, 16 points in a win, and then they scored 11 points. This offense is not clicking right now. Russell Wilson has not looked like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson does not look like dangerous. He does not look like Russell Wilson. The Raiders are getting him at a really good time to make it hard on him. This offense is not clicking. The Raiders should have a field day when it comes to stopping this offense.
Yeah, and you see right now that the Broncos offense is the worst in the red zone. So you never know when that can come back to life. One thing you want to make sure is that Russell Wilson doesn't have a get-right game the way that Kyler Murray and the way that Derrick Henry did against the Raiders. Here's what Russell Wilson had to say about going up against the Raiders.
You know, the defensive side, you know, when you think about Chandler Jones, number 55, man, he's a wreck, man. He's been killing guys for years. He's gotten me a couple times here and there. You know, you think about Abrams coming off the edge. You know what a player he is. You think about Max Crosby. You know, those two guys. That's the heartbeat of their team. Just how ferocious those guys play the game. So, you know, it's going to be a great matchup. It's a great battle, great environment. I've been there before. It's a special location, and it'll be great.
Well, you know, Russell Wilson is going to lean on that rushing offense. When you got Javonte Williams and you got Melvin Gordon there in the backfield, they've had a good season. They're the 12th ranked rushing attack in the NFL, 4.8 yards per carry. What makes them difficult to defend?
Well, number one, I think they're both different, right? You get Melvin Gordon coming downhill, who's a guy that's, you know, been toting the rock for a long time. And then you get Williams, who's a really explosive player, hard to bring down, tough tackle, and then his ability to catch the ball in the pass game on the outside. But these two backs are more than capable of each getting 100 yards whenever they want to in a football game if you give them the ball enough, right? Dynamic duo. It's no fall off once they rotate these guys because they both are really good runners of the football. It's going to be a tough task for the Raiders, and it starts with the run. If you can stop the run, you are going to force them to pass the football. And I know Dangerous is over there, but they have not been good at passing the football this season in these first 3 weeks. Cortland Sutton ain't going. Judy ain't going, Russ ain't cooking. You want to get them in that pass down situation to be able to use Max Crosby and Chandler Jones to get after him.
You know who could be cooking?
Who that?
Max Crosby, as you just mentioned, because I don't know if you saw, Billy Turner is still out for the Broncos with a knee injury. So that means that Cam Fleming filling in for him, probably again at right tackle as expected. Did you watch what Nick Bosa did last week against Cam Fleming?
Did I watch?
Well, let's show him what he did.
Let's see this right here. Just bully you back to the quarterback. Nick Bosa was coming all night long. You cannot single block him, spin, get to Russ, get Russ outside the pocket, then right here again. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Russ going to have to get it. And then, look, we got the posse coming. That's 0-yard gain right there. maybe even a loss. But if this fella right here can get going, and we know what he does, playing with that effort, him and Bosa kind of play similar. They play with a lot of effort. They get this thing going, and they come all night long. And I promise you, if they turn on the tape in Denver and seen Bosa cooking, Max Crosby going to see double.
And I think the key is the guy that Russell Wilson said he knows very well, Chandler Jones from his NFC West days. We got to see more.
It's time to go.
We got to see more from Chandler Jones. We know it's still there.
You want to get out of this 0-3 slump, it's time to go. 55 must show up. Jones, my brother from another mother, it is time to go.
I'll tell you, though, the Broncos offense we know has been struggling, but that Broncos D has been fire. And Coach McDaniels talks about going up against the Broncos defense next right here on the Silver and Black Show. The Silver and Black Show is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. 1800, the best taste in tequila and official partner of the Raiders.
The 48-yard line. Denver bringing 4. Garoppolo protected in traffic. It's intercepted. Jonas Griffith on the deflection. Has it for Denver.
The best thing that they've done so far is win first down. And so they don't give up hardly any yards on 1st and 10, which puts everybody in long yardage situations, which leads them right where they want to be, so they can go ahead and pin their ears back and rush. So a big play in the game as we go through the game is going to be what we do on 1st and 10. Because they're giving up 1.2 yards per play. And so that's not, that's the offense is playing backwards, when you're in long yardage all day. So Chubb and Gregory, they have guys that rotate in there behind them, Patrick and Barron. I mean, they're always somebody in there fresh that can come off the edge and hurt you if you don't do it right. So that's going to be the job of the tackles, but it's also going to be the job of the offense, Let's run the ball effectively. Let's stay ahead on the down and distance. Let's stay out of 3rd and long, obvious passing situations. They've had an advantage so far in the first 3 games. So we got to do a good job of playing complementary offense.
Amen. We're right there with you, Coach McDaniels. Just run the ball. Stay on schedule. We love hearing that. Welcome back to the Silver and Black Show. And so facing the Broncos, the biggest challenge for sure is going up against a top 3 defense in the NFL right now. But that 1.2 yards that they give up on 1st down, that is not a lot. They're best in the league right now at that. So what does that tell you? You got to run the ball on 1st down?
Yeah, that's all I heard right there. As I was sitting here watching Coach McDaniels do his little thing, that's all I heard was we have to run the ball. And they need to really dedicate themselves to running the ball. Just because they stop it on a couple 1st downs or stop it here and there, stick with the run game, because that is going to open it up for everybody else. Josh is having a heck of a season running the football. Let's get him more carries. If Josh touches the ball more, this offense is going to be better. They're going to be able to create more explosive plays, but that's how you get healthy on 1st down, right? If Josh comes in there, he's averaging 4-point-some yards a carry. If he gets 4 on 1st down, we got the Denver Broncos defense exactly where we want them, and the offense is going to have a good day.
It's called staying on schedule. Very easy concept. But it's going to be difficult. Right now, the cornerbacks for the Broncos playing very well. A very young Patrick Surtain has done well. Ronald Darby back there as well. Look, they're only giving up 150, 177, 79 passing yards a game, one of the best pass defenses. Now, I know a lot of that has to do with the front 7. They will not have Hunter Renfrow. He will not play. They will not have Foster Moreau. We all are waiting for Davante Adams to have another big game. But it's going to be tough. I mean, I saw what Surtain did to Deebo Samuel last week.
It's going to be tough, but they ain't never seen nobody like Davante Adams, right? It's going to be tough. And we already talked about it. The way to get Davante the ball is run the ball. And now let's see Patrick Surtain and these boys when they don't know it's an obvious pass down situation, because Coach McDaniels touched on it. They know if it's 2nd and long, pass down situation, you're in your pass defense. 3rd and long, it's obvious pass. So if we can stay on schedule, and now you're going to have to play some man-to-man, you don't know if we running it or passing it, then you got to deal with Davante Adams. But they have to run the ball so Davante Adams could get those one-on-ones, get those zone coverages, and I promise you he'll have another big day just like he did week 1.
Well, I'll tell you, they have a heck of a pass rush. Everybody talks about their front seven. They added Randy Gregory in free agency in the offseason. And now Bradley Chubb, when he's healthy and he's out there, he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. And now both of them have been out there. So what can we expect to see from those guys?
You can expect a little bit of this. Hopefully not too much.
Hopefully not.
You're not going to really stop these guys all game long, right? But number one, we got to put some chips on them. We got to make sure they are accounted for in the pass game. If anybody wrecks this game, it's not the guys on the outside. It's coming up the middle, D tackles, whether they blitzing, whatever they may be doing. But you do not let Randy Gregory and Chubb ruin this game. And number one, Derek, you're going to have to get outside the pocket. You seen that last drive in Denver. Russ was Russ. Got outside the pocket, made some throws, picked up some first down with his legs. You're going to have
Derek
to get
was doing that last game. We're seeing him start to move out of the pocket. So it's a very good sign. But Thayer Munford probably going to play that right tackle position. This is a 7th-round pick, a rookie. He's going to either have Randy Gregory or Bradley Chubb. Hey, he played very well. Actually, that offensive line played very well last week. We hope to see that growth continue. Coming up next, he has been a beast at safety. Duron Harmon, the veteran, sits down with us next here on the Silver and Black Show. Here with Duron Harmon, who is also new to Raider Nation. You're the pride of Magnolia, Delaware. A lot of people don't know where that is. I checked the U.S. Census report. It said only 235 people is the population. Is that wrong? Are you really from a town that small?
235?
That's what it said.
I think there's some misinformation on that. Because just my area, it's more people than that for sure. I don't know how that number came about, but I would bet a lot of money that we got more people in Magnolia than
what was it like?
It was very, it's quiet, but it was good. It was a small, obviously not a big community, but a big enough community where you knew everybody. Everybody's always kind of, rooting for the home high school team. It's a very intimate town, and everybody is always kind of pulling for the other person and always looking to help. So I love my hometown. Also,
you're very open about, you grew up in the church, your faith is important to you, but I saw that you played the drums and the organ in church. What's your go-to jam? I mean, is it a hymn, or do you rock out, Montel Jordan or something at some point?
The thing is, I've been playing instruments probably. I started playing drums when I was probably about 4. Probably started playing in church when I was like 5 or 6. And then as I got older, my uncle played the organ, and he went to another church. So my mom was like, well, you got to figure out how to play the organ now. So he taught me. I can play a little bit of everything, from gospel to R&B. But what I do love about being able to play, the piano, keyboard, organ, is just the idea, when I feel overwhelmed at times, that's kind of just, my go-to, just to kind of just relax and decompress and just get my thoughts together.
We're 6 halves into the season, and I think you know where I'm going if I say halves, because this defense in 3 of those halves gave up a combined 7 points, including 2 shutouts. In the other 3 halves, a total of 54 points combined. What do you make of that?
Well, it seems like we're playing, just one half of football defensively. I can never speak for the offense because my job is to not, let the opposing offense score. So what I make is that we get in situations where, for whatever reason, we're locked in and we play really, really good, or, we start the game not as good as we want, and we have a reset, and then we start playing the way we want to play. So I think for me, what we have to do is start realizing what can we do to play like that every snap, and how can I, as one of the leaders on the defense, make sure that we not only have that mindset when we play, but each and every day in practice, because that's where it starts, practice.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, you saw him in the Super Bowl in Arizona, coincidentally. Are you surprised by his slow start?
We all know what Russell Wilson can do. We've seen it. I mean, the guy is a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league, and he's shown it year in year after year. So I just think people just need to be a little bit more patient, because I know when, he gets going and that offense gets going, they're going to be an offense that's hard to deal with. You have the quarterback, you have the line, you have the skill position, you have the running backs. Like, they have everything they need. They just need a little time, and I think we're kind of in the same boat. It's a new scheme for everybody, new expectations. So, everybody's just trying to figure out. It's only been 3 games.
Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, pretty much they've split carries. I mean, they're both as effective. What makes them so complementary?
Obviously, with Javonte Williams, I mean, he's amazing. He's a load. He's short and compact to the ground. He does a great job of forcing missed tackles. He has a good job of still having some wiggle, being able to kind of run through you or shake you a little bit and run through arm tackles. And then you got a guy like Melvin, who's just been a great back over his whole career in the league. I mean, he has enough power to run you over, but then the thing that makes him a little different is just his speed. Once he gets to the second level, he's running away from guys, turning on the jet. So we know we have to keep those guys contained if we want to have a good day of defense on Sunday.
One last question for you. You say, players get injured, next man up, but not for you. 10 years in the league. When I was looking at your stats, I had to relook at this. You only ever missed 1 game in your rookie season?
Yeah, it was my first game too.
I kept going back and back, so this is impossible. 10 years, you have played a complete season for 10 years. Where does that durability come from?
I say the good Lord, I think every time I go out on the field, I just pray for safety, not over just me, but, the entire team, because this is a physical game. And like you said, injuries happen, long-term injuries, short-term injuries. I'm just hoping that train can continue to go, but I take care of my body too. I do everything. I've had really good vets who showed me how, to take care of my body, to prepare for the game, so that when it's time to go out there and play, I give myself a chance to go out there and make some plays.
So I haven't decided yet what nickname I'm going to give you. It's either going to be Mariano Rivera or Cal Ripken, because you're the Iron Man of football. Nobody's picking up on that one. It's been fun talking to Duron. Best of luck against the Broncos.
Thank you, Amber.
The Silver and Black Show has been brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Chevron with Techron gives you unbeatable cleaning and mileage. Chevron, together ahead.
Yeah, I would say this whole division, obviously we know that it's a very, very good division, and whenever you have a chance to play anybody in the West, it's going to be a heck of a game. I mean, it's going to be a battle. This has been a rivalry for a long time. I mean, anybody within this, whether it's the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, those have all been amazing games. And, now we're going against the Raiders. I mean, they're a very good football team, very talented team, and it's going to be a great battle.
Welcome back to the Silver and Black Show. And he's right. There's nobody that's going gangbusters in this division. Right now, there's nobody that hasn't been beaten yet that shows that they can't be beaten. So Raiders still in it, even though they're 0-3. It's time now for our Microsoft matchup of the week. It's been no secret. We want to see Josh Jacobs. This show is begging for more Josh Jacobs, but going up against that front seven, that's a heck of a matchup, JJ.
But still, say it louder, man. Josh Jacobs is running the football well. He's catching the football well. But not only that, man, he's running extremely hard after he gets this football. Like, make sure you get this young fella more touches. When you get him more touches, good things happen for the Raiders offense. I mean, he's been running like this all season long, these first 3 weeks, toting it, breaking tackles. The first guy is not bringing him down. I want to see more of Josh Jacobs, and I am a receiver talking, saying I want to see this run game. Let's tote it so the receivers can be happy when they get their opportunities.
Well, because we want to see more Davante Adams, and if safety has to drop down and count for him, then Davante opens up. It's all connected. All right, so Josh Jacobs, here is a stat from 2021. Games where Jacobs got 15 or more carries, the Raiders went 6-1. Games where he got 14 or less, the Raiders went 2-7. I know it's a different season. A lot of same personnel out there. We know what the man can do and what an effect he has on the Raiders' ability to win. Let's get back to the AFC West, though. The AFC West is still very much in grasp, and I know that sounds weird when you're talking about an 0-3 team, but let me put it this way. If the Chiefs lose in Tampa on Sunday Night Football and the Raiders beat the Broncos on Sunday, the Raiders are just one game out of first. that's how open this division is right now. We know the Chargers are struggling.
Play the Chiefs Monday night.
And then they turn around. You're right. Next week on Monday Night Football and play the Chiefs. This is a chance to be right back in it. The Chargers are struggling with Justin Herbert injured, with Keenan Allen injured. The Broncos offense is struggling. They have a great defense. And Kansas City still looking to find their rhythm, even though they're 2-1 as well. But we have seen that they are beatable. They got beaten by the Colts.
I've said one win will change everything, right? You come into this thing after this game, one win will change everything if you could get this one done. Because if you come in here, even say if the whole division does win, that's fine. One win, you're going to get that off your back, right? You're going to start believing that you can win now, all putting all the stuff together. And then if stuff does fall how it's supposed to fall, if Tampa wins and you find yourself one game back, one game will change everything. And then the Raiders will have some confidence, some mojo. We'll be smiling on this show, the Sunday show, and we'll all be in here happy.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Matt Collins. We haven't even mentioned him, but reminder that Foster Moreau not playing, Hunter Renfrow not playing as well. I know that's not good to not have your slot receiver and a tight end that's been a huge part of this offense, but Matt Collins could have another big game.
Absolutely.
Hopefully Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs will run the football. We haven't said that enough. All right, you guys, it is Sunday going up against the Broncos, AFC West matchup. Join us here for Raiders Game Day. We'll see you next time.